In the heart of the bustling city of Everdale, beneath the grand arches of an old stone bridge, lived a beggar named Elias. His tattered clothes clung to his frail body, his hollow eyes reflecting the hardship of years spent in the shadows of society. Once a promising scholar, Elias had been struck by misfortune when a devastating fire consumed his home and family. With no savings, no relatives to turn to, and despair as his only companion, he was left to fend for himself on the merciless streets. Yet, despite his plight, he clung to a dream, to reclaim his dignity and find a purpose greater than mere survival. One fateful evening, as Elias sat shivering in the cold, he witnessed a scene that would change his life forever. A woman in a fine dress dropped her purse while rushing into a carriage. Instinctively, Elias scrambled to retrieve it. For a fleeting moment, he considered running away with the money inside, enough to buy him weeks of food. But something within him resisted. Instead, he chased after the carriage, calling out until it halted. The woman, Lady Evelyn Hartley, was astonished by his honesty. In gratitude, she offered him a small sum, and more importantly, an opportunity, job cleaning at her husband's bookstore. Stepping into the bookstore was like stepping into another world. The scent of old parchment awakened memories of a past life. But the road ahead was not easy. Elias faced scorn from the other workers, who saw him as a street rat undeserving of such kindness. His hands, accustomed to the roughness of the streets, fumbled with delicate books. Hunger and exhaustion made his first days unbearable, but he refused to falter. As days turned into weeks, Elias began to read the very books he dusted, rekindling his passion for knowledge. He absorbed philosophy, literature, and business insights, staying late into the night to devour every word. Yet skepticism surrounded him, and the store's manager, Mr. Caldwell, constantly belittled his ambitions, warning him that beggars were not meant to dream. One stormy evening, Elias overheard a heated conversation in the bookstore. A rare book, meant to be sold to a nobleman, had been misplaced. The staff panicked, for the nobleman would arrive the next morning, and failure would result in dire consequences. Elias, recalling an obscure passage from one of the books he had read, suspected the missing volume had been mistakenly placed in a different section. Despite the storm raging outside, he searched tirelessly, his fingers numb from the cold. Just as dawn broke, he found the book hidden behind a stack of misclassified novels. Presenting it to Mr. Caldwell, he earned reluctant respect, but more importantly, Lady Evelyn took notice of his brilliance. Months later, an even greater challenge arose. The bookstore was on the verge of shutting down due to financial troubles. Elias, having studied economics and business strategies from the very books he once dusted, boldly presented a plan to revive the store, suggesting a lending system and public readings to attract customers. Though met with doubt, Lady Evelyn convinced her husband to give Elias a chance. The plan worked. Footfall increased, and soon the bookstore thrived as a center of learning and community engagement. Elias was no longer just a beggar. He was now a scholar, an innovator, and a respected figure in the bookstore. His dedication earned him the position of assistant manager, and within a few years, he became co-owner of the establishment. The boy who once begged for scraps now held discussions with nobles and intellectuals, his name whispered with admiration among the city's elite. But Elias did not forget where he came from. With his newfound success, he established shelters and learning centers for the homeless, giving others the same chance he had been given. Elias's journey teaches that integrity, perseverance, and self-belief can defy even the harshest circumstances. No matter how low one falls, there is always a path to redemption for those who dare to rise.